we're in space. It's the end of Xenoblade 1.
What is this place? I can feel it. This is the site of the final battle.
Hey, I can move.
If it's a past that everyone experienced, then you can interact with it, remember? It's just like that shopping mall.
Everyone? But this ain't your past, right?
It's probably because I...
Nyx! And... that figure! So this is... the miracle he performed.
What is this? That's his life essence. This is what happened that night. Using the power of the Great Seal, his own essence became the seal. But when someone's life essence leaves their body, they die. To do this intentionally, he must have already found his answer to life.
His answer to life.
I don't think he has any regrets. He even managed to keep his promise to you all before his consciousness finished fading away.
His promise? You mean, to meet up on graduation day?
Wait, how do you know about all that?
How? I just do. I'm probably like Nyx, or this person who became the seal. I think I belong on this side. Nyx is able to bring death to all things, but if she's that powerful, then what was stopping her before he became the seal?
Huh. Was there someone else?
Then what about before humanity existed?
What are you getting at?
I'm not sure why this occurred to me, but I don't think Nyx is malicious. Normally, a seal shouldn't be necessary.
What? Are you saying he did this for nothing?
No. I think what he was actually trying to do...
The hell was that?
Everyone, look! Just as I thought. The purpose of his seal. It's not meant to hold back Nyx. It's to prevent something from reaching her.
What do you mean?
That giant monster. It's not a shadow. It's a mass of the worst traits and feelings from every person's heart. Deep down, everyone is calling for Nyx.
That can't be.
There was a time when I also wished for death. It's probably true that everyone has a part of them secretly yearning for it. The only thing that separates the living from the non-living is death, the greatest equalizer.
I think I understand. When you feel like your life has no meaning, the thought of death can be comforting. And that subconscious desire is so strong, it could even create a monster like this. I I guess that's just how it is these days.
Hell?
That is quite the look
Why is it after us?
for final boss.
It must want my sister.
What?
She has the same power as the one who created the seal.
Oh? Well, why not still focus on the one that created the seal?
Going to fight it? You can't take on something like that!
This is a battle we can't run from. Feelings that created this monster came from within me as well. I couldn't accept reality. So I wished for the past. Despite that past harboring death and bloodshed, there isn't a doubt in my mind. This is the cause of all our struggles.
Sounds good to me. Let's take it down.
This isn't just a fight against a monster. I'll be facing myself as well. And I'm ready.
We won't run away this time. He's watching us, and we can't let him down.
This thing's got no chance of beating us, and I'm liking those odds.
Sister.
Don't worry. It won't stop us. To live means to not give in to your own weaknesses. So we won't lose. We will live.
So, what's the final boss music gonna be like here? The background feels very Elden Ring final battle. Also, let me get this
I think I
straight.
can use it now.
So the overall message and theme of this story is one of, like, don't be thinking about suicide, you should be, like, living your life and truly enjoying life in a game where the characters get their true power unleashed by shooting themselves in the head with a gun. When the theme is like, hey, don't be thinking about that suicide thing when you're doing it, like, every time you go into a battle. Which, I still find that really weird for, like, Persona 3 of, like, the method of summoning personas. I've always thought that's been a little odd. But,
This is my resolve.
alright, you probably don't have any bullshit rules like Jocker.
Morpheus!
So bloody charge. This is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and debilitate you. Erebus, whatever the heck. Down go your stats. I don't know what to do in the meantime. I don't really need to heal that little smidge, I don't think. I could do this for, like, some free damage back sometime later. I don't know, sure. Put a shield on the child. Shield him from all the awful things of the world.
What's the best move?
Why not? Charge. I guess I could have cups before this one. When I can't before Joker. But, like, it probably doesn't matter that much. Like, I'm probably super OP for this. Yeah, like, this probably isn't gonna be that bad. Yeah, this will be fine, I think. Like, it is good to have, like, your main content be something that is designed to be beatable, which it feels from those attacks like this most likely is. And then if you want to have, like, some super boss that you don't need to take on to beat the game that is, like, super hard bullshit, go ahead and make that. It's not needed to beat the game. It's just bonus extra content for, like, those that want to do that. So, you know, I'm glad that the actual final bosses of, like, Nyx and Erebus here aren't as hard as, like, Elizabeth and Joker. Yeah, Erebus, I honestly have no idea how it's pronounced. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, I think. Sure. Use Shadow Hound on the massive sword of hound thing. Is what I'll do here. But yeah. Yeah, the MC is just a livum. What? The main character is just alive. I assume that's supposed to mean there. Oh, I could have done Revolution first. I think that was still a crit there. Just chilling there, preventing the want of death from unleashing Nyx again.
So this is what we're up
Oh,
against.
physical. That's the thing that I'm already doing that's, like, super strong and stuff. The music's pretty cool here. But yeah, a little cock block between two beings so humanity's not dead. Yeah, so I guess main character didn't die to, like, truly defeat Nyx, but rather sealed themselves away to prevent this thing from getting to death and keeping death, like, locked away and stuff. Yeah, I charged here, so I can just go ahead and say charging blitz this. This is what I can do. Hit you with the hammer here. there's got to be multiple phases to this. Because 1, it's a Persona file boss, and 2, this health is going down, like, very fast. Like, I know I'm probably OP for this, but still. This is where the door meme comes from? Oh! I was wondering why there was a mod for this game that turned the main character into a door. I thought it was just like a complete random shitpost of someone that thought it was funny to turn the main character into a door. Because there is a mod for this game where you change the model of your character to a door. I think it's his face, like, on the door. And you're just like a door running around it. Kind of a funny mod. But yeah, that's another reason people didn't like this, is the main character not being dead, huh? Okay. Infuriate.
What's the big idea, huh? I can do this.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and, like, do this. This is what I'm gonna do. There. Now we're feeling better. If only Ken had access to salvation. Alright, well, that's a big orb. This looks like something that would be on the field in, like, Final Fantasy 16, as it gives you, like, a countdown of, like, take out this smidge of health in this time, or else they're gonna unleash, like, this super crazy thing that's probably gonna one-shot you. I'm pretty sure Revolution is still up. I'm pretty sure here. If you don't take these off ever, then I may as well, like, double stack them up across Koromaru's turn. Has Divine Intervention. I did not beat Joker. I don't think I can at my current strength. He has some extra rules on Heartless that make it a little bit more tricky. And, a few of the guides that I was reading for Joker on Heartless were saying, if you want to do this on Heartless, you got to get everyone to 999 HP, which involves farming for the major Arcana card over and over again. I don't know if I actually need to do that. I know my equipment isn't, like, the best stuff yet, but he was, like, either one-shotting me or getting me down, like, 90% health in one hit across, like, my whole party consistently, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not doing this at this point. So, maybe I'll do it sometime later. If 999 HP does seem like it's necessary, then I'm just gonna boot up good old cheat engine to do that, because I'm not grinding for however many hours it takes to farm that stupid card over and over again just to max out everyone's HP. I'd rather not do that. But I would still like to do it at some point. Oh, okay, so now you reflect the physical things. May as well use this, right?
Spear's ready.
But yeah.
Go!
Boop.
Eat this.
They said heed this or eat this. Yeah, medicine Aigis' damage definitely a whole lot better.
What should I do?
I may as well still charge even if you're repelling right now. Just because I'm not going to lose my charge unless you kill me. That probably won't be the case. Okay, well, only one person with rage.
Just as I expected.
Oh, well, Ken's weak to that. Almighty Onslaught!
Damage inflicted.
Okay, not too bad. Do I want to...
Don't get too angry.
Salvation again? Like, he's dizzy, so he might not be getting up immediately. So I think I will, actually. Yeah, I'm digging, like, the main parts of this music here. I will say. Alright, gonna have to up that attack again. You have a charge.
I've already scanned
You're
this
still
one.
reflecting. I can use Koromaru to give everyone a charge. When it's actually gonna give everyone a charge, so I don't think I'm gonna bother right now. Let's double stack Revolution just so that it keeps on lasting. I'm sure I'll be able to use Physical again at some point here. Or use Aigis' Theurgy here, because it looks like it's gonna be ready soon. Sure. Critical rate boost extended. May as well there. And then, like, I don't know. I could use Oracle, but I don't really need to right now, so I mean... I don't know, do a little bit of chip damage with a light. 271. Alright. Let's get this attack up again.
What's the best move?
Like that. I like doing more damage. More damage is nice. You really like putting on ailments. I wish ailments were better for me to do in this game. I hate it when games are like, hey, you can do this thing, enemies can do this thing too. But like when you do it, it's garbage, and when enemies do it, it's amazing. Like, the regular enemies, wow. The regular enemies get shredded way too fast for ailments to be worth it. And bosses just like, you can't put elements on them.
Just as I expected.
Okay, there is gonna be some challenge to this boss after all. It seems here.
This is my resolve. Orpheus!
Alright, well, you're still gonna be doing some healing stuff here then.
Thank you, sister.
is what's gonna be the case, because yeah, I want to deal with that ailment there. Let's go ahead and get Koromaru up. And my Theurgy's maxed if I actually get like an opening to use it. I could probably just do like a Armageddon from here if I really wanted to.
I've already scanned this one out.
Yeah, gonna be reflecting that. I don't know what else I can really do. I mean, how many potatoes do I have for like Party's defense? I have a bunch of these sutras. Tsukaja potato. Okay. Yeah, I do have like 5 of the what the heck? 1 ally's defense. I have 5 of these, and I don't really see myself using 5 of them across like the 20-turn Joker fight. So it's probably fine to use one here. I don't know. Why not? Give it a go. Defense up. That's fine. I doubt I'm gonna miss. Ow. Almighty Onslaught. So I wonder how exactly Almighty Onslaught works. Because it keeps on knocking people down, but the name would imply it's an almighty attack.
Get up, Koro-chan!
Okay, I mean,
Okay.
and your attack isn't up anymore. So, like, got rid of that?
I can do this.
Alright, well, now's my opening to Bloody Charge. So I may as well. Yeah, Koromaru won't be able to act this turn, but Koromaru doesn't really need to act this turn, per se. I don't think. I'll go ahead and do that.
Thank you for your
Wow,
support.
sniffles. And then I'm charged, but like I can't do that right now. I mean, who really wants me to use that, huh?
Come on.
I think that you would probably be automatically through a Dizzy next turn anyway, but just in case. Primal Darkness. Also, this whole final boss of like everyone's negativity, like the culmination of all these awful emotions and stuff, makes me really think of Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon.
Power. It's terrible.
It actually wasn't that bad.
That attack were to land multiple times.
Like, the Almighty Onslaught is the thing that scares me more. But yeah, Almighty Onslaught gets 1 more every time ally got ailment. Okay, so it has a chance of inflicting ailment and it gets 1 more from that. I gotcha.
Who's next?
Okay, well,
Summoning.
at least you can't get a 1 more off of me, I don't think. Do I have a gear on that makes it so I can't get ailment? I don't remember.
This one.
Either way, I'm not going to be getting it a lot of the time. Here, let's try this. This is going to be a lot of damage. If not, taking out this health bar. I could have probably Armageddon, but like... Okay, let's try this. Wow, not a massive ton of damage. Maybe I could have Armageddon. Alright, well, put this on there. There's technically almighty physical moves in some of the games, at least in Metaphor. Don't think any other game has that, though. Interesting.
Keep it together.
Okay, well, sure. You're on healing duty, Ken. Enjoy your task.
My thing. I appreciate
Just keep us all healed up and stuff. Attack reverted? Alright, well, I know what it's time for then. Time to raise the party's attack. See what I do. I think I still have a charge that I've been holding on to for a while. I can probably spend that now, right? Concentrate. Oh, well. I'll be a little bit sketchy about that. Yeah, it's back to use physical things, which works fantastically. I don't need to heal with my Dudo right now, so I can go ahead and just bloody charge here. Heck yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so. I kind of wish that there was almighty physical on this game. So I do kind of wish. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I guess probably isn't at any threat of going down. I don't know, here. One of my bazillion life stones is probably gonna mostly make up that bloody charge.
Thank you very much.
There, made most of it up. Alright, well maybe I'll put on a revolution here again, actually. That's maybe what I'll do. Here, sure, a little bit of extra safety. Why ever not? Like that, why not? May as well. Defense reverted, effective revolution ended. Well, I don't have increased chance of critting. Oh my Theurgy isn't up quite yet. But I can still use this charge. And I have the strike amp, so I may as well go with strike. Do I get 2 hits? Nope, never lucky. Effective revolution ended. Thunder rain. Ow. Diamond Dust. That's okay, Ken can heal us. Unless that happens. Maybe Koromaru will thaw him out this turn and we can put on Revolution like another time.
Let me see.
Maybe what I'll do. Alright, well, I'm all charged up here, so maybe I'll just go ahead and... Let's go ahead and pull out Shiva here like this. Let's see how much damage this does. Wow! Okay, that was nice. Here, feeling a little bit frozen? How about you just, like, don't be froze? Thanks, kid. Alright, well, my HP is not in the worst state right now, but I'm gonna do this anyway. Better safe than sorry. Don't feel like I need to take any risks doing anything riskier here. Alright, well, before I do that, I may as well charge. That's what I should probably do. There we go. Ice break. Oh no, my ice resistance! Charge. I might just kill you first.
Okay.
Like with Metis.
I can do this.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say... Well, you concentrate up. If you do a magic thing, I'm just gonna reflect it unless you, unless you use an almighty one, which you might. Alright, sure. Let's see here. Revolution. If Ken doesn't kill, then Metis probably will. I mean, there's probably still gonna be, like, more phases or something or other. But, hey. Here, do this. Maybe the light attack from the kid will take out the dark enemy. Maybe. This probably isn't gonna do a massive ton of damage. Oh, it was actually enough, though. I thought it might be just short. Is what I would have maybe guessed there. I definitely wouldn't have been surprised, at least. Phase 2.
Yeah! That's what you get! Fighting us! World-saving warriors!
Wow. We actually did it. I told you it wouldn't stop us.
But won't that monster reappear eventually? Because people will still keep having those feelings, wishing for destruction.
You're right. It's certainly difficult. People struggle to keep death at bay, all the while forgetting what makes life worth living in the first place.
I get it. That's why we need the seal. Without it, people would just call for Nyx again, wanting everything to end. Can't help but feel that way, even when we're staring it right in the face. I couldn't stop it myself either. Even if we did go back to that battle, it wouldn't change anything. That's why he made that choice.
Yukari.
I miss him. It hurts knowing he's gone forever, but I can see his choice and why he made it. I just have to accept it. That this is what he wanted. But it's still really, really hard to do that.
I have to do better too. He protected all of us. And he still is. Even now.
Yeah. We have to stay strong, just like he is.
At least I feel like I finally got to really see him off.
If it wasn't for that monster, we could have made it back, but I guess it's not like we can get rid of that thing for good. We can't change the feelings of the whole world.
Yes, we can. We can do it.
I guess.
It'll be different someday. As long as we're alive, we can change things. I know. Because I was even able to change myself.
That's our goal. And we gotta believe we can do it first. People aren't as hopeless as they think. We've already learned that much.
Yeah, you're right.
As long as we're alive, we can change things. You know, Aigis, I think I get why you got the same power as him this whole time. I was wondering why it got to be you and not me, but You were the one who really knew how to move forward. I guess you have that in common with him.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I'm glad that you're glad. You know, I was pretty jealous for a good while there. Yeah, just petty jealousy, plain and simple. I wanted it to be me, and I said so many terrible things to you. I'm sorry.
Yukari-san.
Come on, let's use that key and go back to our time. I think we're all ready to start April 1st now.
Agreed.
All right. Aigis?
Yes. I don't know how else to say this, so I'm very glad I got to know all of you.
Isn't it a bit early to be getting sentimental? And you don't have to be so stiff. We're all friends here, right? Actually, you shouldn't say that at all. It's like you're saying goodbye.
Yes, you're right. Oh, friendship. If something's mere presence can make you realize you're alive, and if that something isn't death, maybe it's friendship. Is that the answer to life I'm supposed to find?
Congratulations, sister.
Where are we? What is this place?
The hell's all this now? Didn't we just walk outside?
How are you all here?
There is no need to worry. I simply summoned you that we might say our farewells. This is quite a surprise, however. I did not expect your friends to follow you here. It would seem that the power of the wild card within you has had an effect on them as well.
I guess you know them? This is a place where those soon to awaken to their power can receive guidance. Both my sister and your friend who sealed Nyx were guests here.
Mattis? Why are you over there with them? Just what's going on?
It's like I said before. I belong on this side. The abyss of time will disappear soon. The flow of time in your everyday lives will return to normal. Congratulations, sister. And the rest of you as well.
Mattis, you...
Do you recall saying that you could no longer fulfill your purpose? To protect him? Well, I think you might still be able to do so.
What?
We all discussed earlier getting rid of that monster for good. Maybe someday, enough people will come to the same realization as you. Were that to happen, the world would stop calling for Nyx, and the monster would no longer appear. So until that day comes, continue fostering connections with others. That is how you can still protect him.
I really can keep protecting him?
Mattis, who are you really? Won't you tell us?
I think she's my other self. The pain of losing him was unbearable. So much so, I just wanted to be a machine again. You must be the part of myself that I wished away. My lonely sister, always afraid of being left behind. You came to help me acknowledge and confront the pain of life. I understand now. I wish I'd figured it out sooner.
Sister. The souls of all living things are connected through a plane, similar to a sea. I think that's where I came from. Your heart is connected to that sea as well. You truly are alive. And from now on, we'll always be together, sister. I'm coming home.
Welcome back. I feel tired. It's been some time since I last felt like this. I haven't needed sleep in a while.
Well, it would appear our guest has safely reached her destination. She has found her answer to life.
Her answer to life?
Please, tell me, now that I've found my answer, is my life going to end?
And what do you mean by that?
Aigis?
It's strange, though. I feel satisfied.
Wait, Aigis, are you... Oh, no, you can't!
I wish I had been there to say goodbye. I shouldn't have locked myself away in my room. Huh? Am I crying? Now that I think about it, Metis cried before. I must have even thrown away the ability to shed tears.
You've overcome this ordeal splendidly. And now you've reached the end of your journey. It is time for us to part.
Aigis, cut it out! This isn't funny!
Aigis, please!
It's okay. Don't worry.
Aigis! Aigis!
You know, you might be able to reach him now. Not so much with words, but with everyone's hearts and strength. If you were to do that, he wouldn't have to carry on alone anymore.
And that's all for the weather. At the tone, the time will be 12 a.m.
What kind of weather forecast goes
Now,
to
April
midnight?
1st. Here are the latest news reports.
What?
Right. When did we fall asleep?
Huh? This is the dorm. Is everything back to normal? What is it, Koromaru?
What happened? Weren't we all by the entrance talking about a key or something?
Yeah, we were. But it looks like that's been settled. Everything outside is back to normal. We're no longer blocked from leaving either.
So the Abyss of Time is gone then?
The date! It's April 1st!
Wait, so do they have their clear memories or not? Because
it's all
Junpei
over
was
then,
like,
right?
weren't we doing something about a key? Like it was just some faint
hell
memory.
Yeah! About damn time!
Hey, Aigis, wake up! We made it out in one piece. Aigis?
Wait a second. After we used the key to open the front door, we ended up in a room that looked like an elevator. And while we were there, Aigis-san...
Hey, come on, Aigis. You're not gonna lie there forever, are you? Wake up. Aigis! Yurijo-senpai.
Let's not jump to conclusions. We'll take her to her room for now. We can use the equipment there to check on her condition.
She's not waking up.
How's it looking, Fuka? I'm on it. I've used this equipment a number of times before. It should be designed to allow us to operate the most basic systems on our own.
No good. If only it wasn't so late at night. I'm sorry. I tried contacting the lab, but they're unlikely to send help anytime soon.
It's okay. I think I've almost got it.
Is that it?
Her vitals are on screen now. Let's see. No. This can't be.
Did you find something?
Her synaptic circuits. They're completely burned out. There must have been a massive system overload that took her way over capacity. I imagine it's related to her gaining the ability to use multiple personas.
Burned out, but she can be fixed, right?
It would be easy enough to replace the necessary parts, but the Aigis we know is already gone. No, Aigis.
Did you call my name?
Aigis!
Did something happen?
Jeez! Way to give us a heart attack, you sleepyhead! You took so long to wake up, we thought you were dead! But... how? Her synaptic circuits shouldn't even be receiving power anymore. It's almost like... she's really alive.
I'm sorry if I caused you all concern. I was having a dream. The first one in quite some time. It was full of memories of the time I spent with everyone, and strength of heart, when united, is barred by no door. It's nothing. Painful goodbyes may be one of the most difficult aspects of living, but I believe that spending time with those who care about you is one of the most joyous. I really am lucky to have such wonderful friends.
Aigis. We were right next to each other, suffering over the exact same things. Looking back, I feel kinda stupid. Why did we ever think we were all alone? I guess we're more alike than we thought.
Man, is this nightmare finally over? We're not gonna wake up and see April 1st again, are we?
Hey, quit tempting fate, would you? In any case, that's it for now.
Oh, crap. With the danger gone, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I could practically sleep standing up.
Oh, Junpei-kun!
All right. Let's head back to our rooms and get some rest for tonight. Was there anything else to take care of before we turn in? Actually, there is one thing I'd like to announce. With regard to collecting everyone's evokers, I'd like to reverse that decision. This whole incident gave me a lot to think about. In a way, I may have been trying to bury the past by collecting the symbols of our power and locking them away. But even with no shadows left to fight, we remain in a battle against ourselves. So, everyone should hold on to their own.
Until the day when everyone can change, right? Let's see. My large items have been shipped. Am I forgetting anything?
I just got word. Our transportation will be here shortly.
You're taking everyone else too?
Yes, Their new dorms are on the way to the lab anyway. And since we're all here, I thought we might as well travel together. It would be dull otherwise.
Has anyone seen Junpei? I told him not to be late.
Junpei-kun!
I bet he's trying to carry everything at once. Just ignore him. He did the same thing last year.
I see. It sounded like it really hurt, though.
Oh, my face. No one saw that, right?
Are you alright? Can't leave him alone for 5 minutes.
Sounds like they're here. Let's get going, shall we?
I actually have a favor to ask.
What is it?
I know it's last minute and might be too late, but would it be okay for me to not go back to the lab? Before, I thought I'd lost my purpose, my reason to live. But now I realize that isn't the case. If possible, I would like to keep attending school with Yukari-san and everyone.
Aigis.
I want to continue experiencing new things with you all, if it's not too late.
Well, it would be difficult, since I'm no longer involved with Gekukan High.
Your transportation has arrived, ma'am.
Thank you.
Senpai!
I apologize, but there's been a sudden change in plans. We'll now be going to the school's Tatsumi Hall. The transfer to the lab has been cancelled.
Senpai! You mean...
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about!
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be able to stay with you all.
It's weirdly kinda sad to leave, huh?
Yes, but change is part of life.
Hey, so... if you're gonna live in the dorms next year... do you wanna be roommates?
Huh?
I imagine you still need one. And also, it just makes sense, you know? Because we're friends, aren't we?
Yeah, let's do it!
That was one of the most anime things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's still going on. Now it's gonna lead into the credits, because it's playing the music that sounds like something that would naturally transition into credits. Probably. It's flashbanging me for a while. Oh, here we go. This has gotta be like one of the most anime credit sequences I've ever seen now. Oh my god. I swear, I'd have like a family member come into the if it wasn't the middle of the night, come into the stream right now and be like, "What the hell are you playing?" Like, anyway, well, when I heard everyone talking about like the ending before, I thought it was gonna be like the most abysmal out of nowhere, like garbage kind of thing. I've definitely seen worse, I will say. I didn't think that it was terrible, but it is a little bit of a head scratcher of like, really? You know? And yeah, the very anime music as well to contribute. The whole idea of like the ending where the main character passes away at the end of the main game, where it's like, that's a sacrifice that I made just for the DLC at the end here to, well, DLC, if that's what you're gonna call it in this context, the additional epilogue that was included in like FES or whatever the heck there, but is now made DLC. This episode, I guess, is more sanitized than the original. Okay, well, after the credits, I'll definitely look that up here. The idea that, like, nope, he's still alive, and he's just actively acting as, like, a gatekeeper that can't defend himself at all, just, like, chained up. It's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So he's just, like, basically a statue and, like, chained to the door and not letting all of society, all of humanity that wants to get in there and kind of wants to die from getting in there and unleashing death upon the world again. And it just kind of comes out of nowhere as well. Like, it's not really built up throughout this story. Like, the closest example that I can think of where something is just kind of dumped on you out of nowhere with zero build-up whatsoever is, I'm going to use a movie example here. I'm going to say it's Moonfall is what I suddenly think of there. I had heard that movie was really bad for a long time. I saw it was available on some streaming service like a few months ago. I saw it for the first time semi-recently. I definitely don't regret watching it. It definitely was a kind of fun bad movie in that it makes you constantly go like, what? But the writers of that movie made like some super elaborate lore and backstory for why there's like all this stuff going on with the moon. And it's all dumped on you all at once in like a super long exposition sequence like right towards the end of the movie. With like no build up, no overarching themes, nothing. And I don't even remember all of what that exposition was, just because it was like a several minute sequence right towards the end instead of being dispersed across it. And just like, yep, here's the explanation to everything, and you're just sitting there listening to explanation. It's just boring. And it feels like it comes kind of out of nowhere since it wasn't really built up throughout the film. That's what I kind of felt like with this, where it's like, what does the Abyss of Time have to do with the gate to Nyx and like the main character guarding it and like all of humanity kind of having a secret harboring of like a willingness to unalive themselves or whatever the heck? Like, they felt like two very unrelated things. Like, it didn't really feel like a connected kind of piece there. It was just kind of like out of nowhere. Yep, this is what's going on now that you've gone through the Abyss of Time and seen like a little bit of extra character backstory that also has no connection to the overall narrative. So it felt like very disconnected and like, what is the point? Like, I don't really get it. And if Mr. Duda is still alive, like, is he conscious? Is he, like, sealed away in some way? Or, like, what is the deal there? Also, if all of humanity does harbor that kind of desire and is creating that monster kind of like Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon Dark Matter, us defeating it would, in theory, just, like, hold it back a little bit. And also, does that do anything to, like, change society's kind of perception? Like, that was one of the things that was discussed a little bit by the narrative of Persona 5 during the ending of it. When you defeat... I don't know if it had, like, a name apart from God. When you defeat God, like, the figure, like, it started as the Holy Grail and then became God. And it was, like, a figure that people created because they wanted, like, a system to follow and something to believe in and yada yada. And you defeat that, implying that people are gonna be, like, more willing to, like, live for themselves instead of, like, constraining themselves in, like, the prison of mementos and stuff like that. But the world doesn't actually change, and there is, like, a little bit of discussion about, like, hey, did we really have, like, an impact here? And the game, like, does, like, talk about that a little bit. And ask, like, was it really all that worth it, or are things just gonna stay the same and stuff like that? This didn't really delve into that. Instead, it was just like, hey, we defeated it. Things are cool now. But it was also very implied that, like, those feelings aren't exactly gone, and they would just, like, come back and go to the gate again. And if the way to that gate, that door, is through the Abyss of Time, and now the Abyss of Time is closed and we can't get through to there, does that mean that it's now impossible for anyone else to, like, interfere and prevent the big monster, whatever it was called again, something, whatever the heck, I don't even remember anymore. Does that mean it's impossible for anybody like us to interfere and, like, prevent it from doing stuff again? Like, trying to break in there? Like, is the main character not good enough to, like, prevent it from getting in there? Because it sure looked like the main character wasn't doing anything. It sure looked like he was just, like, a statue on the door with some chains and couldn't really do anything, as the monster was, like, you know, doing stuff there. Does the main character do stuff otherwise? Because, like, there was no evidence of that. I mean, there was no reason for them to interfere, so would the main character have dealt with it? Wouldn't have gotten in regardless. It would have been cool to see, like, in what way the main character, like, keeps it out, like, to actually show, like, a proven purpose to the main character being there. Otherwise, it kind of feels like, what's the point? So, yeah, there's that there. Yeah, guarding against a collective death. The characters are grieving the first 10 to 20 minutes. And after that, it's just kind of not brought up again until the end, really. Yeah, like, it didn't really feel like there was an overarching... Oh, my 3D print just finished there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It didn't really feel like there was an overarching narrative to this story. Yoink. What? The plate is still super hot. Look at that. Little seed starter. It only took, like, several attempts this stream. There we go. I can slot, like, 3 pots into that and then put, like, a little humidity dome and stuff here. And, yeah. Let me just put that there and stuff and toss this back over there. Like that. As well, I can sort that out properly later. Atlus SEGA. It felt very much like the beginning of it was them kind of coping with what happened during the events of the game. And then it was a super long journey of, let's just go around, like, doing all the different areas in this dungeon. There's something in my hand. It feels warm. I don't like where this is going. Twilight Butterfly. Okay, that's just like a sign that I beat it, I guess. Maybe a sign that I beat it on Heartless, like there was a... Oh, together into tomorrow. Watch the ending. I got Steam achievement. By loading save data here, you can resume the game from right before the final battle. Sure, save into slot 7 now. Oh, and it has like a cool art and stuff, and a butterfly that's pink and not blue. Okay, interesting. Oh, and the title screen is different here now. And it moves to there. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's fun. I can't go back now. Yeah, it felt like the beginning was very much just, like, dealing with the results of the main game. And then there was Metis coming in and wanting to murder everybody. Which still makes me scratch my head going, like, is it really necessary? And when it was shown that it was, like, another side of Aigis, does that mean that Aigis secretly wanted to murder everybody? Or, like, what exactly does that mean for the sake of protecting herself? Yes. It's like, oh, that's certainly something. And then most of the gameplay is going around the dungeon. Then it's going around the dungeon and getting, like, a cutscene for most of the characters, showing some of their backstory, which, you know, would have been nice to have during the main game, I guess, but, like, a lot of them felt, like, very unnecessary, and, like, yeah, I kind of figured that stuff already. Like, hey, I get to see it. That didn't really feel worth it trekking through, like, you know, 10 to 20 floors just to see something that I kind of already knew, you know? So that felt kind of pointless there. And then we got all the things, and it's like, do we want to escape the Abyss of Time and, like, keep on moving forward? Or do we want to go back in time and, like, try to save the main character just because we love him so much? And... you know, with the casts like that are supposed to be, like, super close and stuff, you'd think that they would be able to, like, sort it out instead of getting to the point where it's like, hey, we have different decisions about what we want to do here. Let's beat the shit out of each other in duos Fortnite Battle Royale, and whoever wins is the one that gets to make the decision. Like, what? Why? Why is the one who is the very strongest the one that should make the decision? And, like, they were very, very quick to turn on one another and stuff. But yeah, they hated each other from the beginning. They were just waiting for a reason to let out their pent-up rage on each other. is that like the actual story reason? Because it didn't really feel like it. That's not really the impression that I got from it. Okay, no. And, you know, that felt kind of like, oh, I guess that's what's happening now. Also, well, I forget what the explanation was for, like, the shadowy version of the main character. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. What, the volume mixer is bugging out now. Let me kind of reopen it again. The shadowy version of the main character, I forget what the explanation behind that was, but it didn't really feel all that connected to anything either. Man, I'm just joking. It makes more sense than the canon reason, though. If it actually went that direction with the story. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like, hey, we did make it to the main character. Turns out he's still around, just like keeping this door closed so that the collective feelings of death that people have don't get through it. Yeah, that. Oh, and I guess that's the final boss that I would have seen in the intro and not realized it was the final boss. It's like, it feels like it tried to do so many different things, and because it didn't really focus on any one given thing, it just kind of felt like directionless. Like, across so many points of it, it's doing so many completely different things. So, it didn't really feel like a cohesive narrative. It felt like a bundle of a lot of different things the writers and developers wanted to do, without, like, any cohesive way that it's led into. This is kind of what it felt like. It kind of felt like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to me in a sense, where things didn't happen because it was like the natural progression of a story and events, but rather it felt like things were just happening because that's what needed to happen, and it's going to happen even if it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, like, so the actual fight in the trailers, it is no kiddie fight, it is legit a full-out brawl. Yeah, I mean, even with like the intro thing where Bob there, the intro trailer, the intro like anime opening, whatever the heck you want to call it, where it is shown to be like a main thing. Like, that was clearly meant to be a main part of the story, and it just kind of comes and goes really fast, and it's, yeah, it wasn't terrible. Like, it tries to deliver like a meaningful message of like, hey, treasure life and keep on moving forward and stuff like that. But it handled it in like a pretty odd way, I feel like, and the overarching experience of episode Aigis here just felt like a mishmash of so many different elements that didn't really fit together cohesively, is what it felt like narratively. What is going on with the light in the middle of the screen there? It's getting a little bit crazy. Well, let's watch that cutscene originally. They want to kill in the original. I'll see you in a second here. I wanted to talk about like other stuff with my full review. I mean, they basically beat each other till they are down and face down on the ground. Yeah, I mean, the other aspects really quickly. Visuals basically the same as the main game. Like, it can be a pretty charming game. I wish there was more variety to like the different areas, or like each section that you went through was like its own theme, like across like the 7 sets of doors or whatever the heck, that there was like a distinct theme for each of them, as opposed to like, hey, there's this theme for like this block to this block in this set of doors, then this theme for like this block of this set of doors to this set of doors, like in the same area. So it's like the same set of doors linearly will be like 3 different themes, and those themes will be used in like other doors. So like the overall aesthetic of the dungeon, like while it would change, it didn't really feel like each area had like its own unique identity, because that identity was being used by the other areas as well. It felt like they were mixing and matching rather than just letting each area have like its own unique identity that I would have preferred it to have. What else here to mention? I don't really think anything about visuals. I think it's basically just gameplay now. It's basically just Tartarus again, but, you know, that's the entire game. And it doesn't really feel like you're working towards something as huge, I guess. I don't know. I guess you didn't really know what you were working towards in Tartarus for a long time. But it just felt like it was whatever length it needed to be at, like, any given time. And it's just continue to do floor after floor after floor after floor. And, you know, I got pretty sick and tired of the day-to-day in, like, Persona 3 Reload. I was taking my time with it, with, like, doing all the social links, trying to be as efficient as I could and stuff like that. But, man, when I'm faced with, like, just the gameplay of doing, like, a dungeon for how many hours was I playing this stupid dungeon? Let's see here. It was 38.5 hours when you count my grinding time. Probably more than that, considering times that I reset, like, during Joker, or that save file that I reloaded after failing Joker the first time, then having to redo that boss. So realistically, it is definitely more than, I'd say it's easily more than 40 hours here. That is quite a while. Like, I know I was taking my time with it, playing on Heartless, doing, like, my great grind, trying to make, like, my ultimate builds and stuff like that. But still, holy crap. So, you know, it really drags on and gets kind of boring and repetitive. The actual difficulty of it, at first it felt like it was pretty intense, but then when I started getting into it, it got, like, really easy. Because during my last session, during my last stream, I was like, you know, I haven't made, like, any dedicated builds yet. I'm just going to go until I hit the point where it's like, this boss is so tough, I can't defeat it. I have to, like, grind between sessions, and then I'll come back during the next stream after, like, a great grind and powered up and ready to do, like, the next set. And my run of going until I couldn't go anymore just never ended. So, I mean, I appreciate, like, being able to get through it without really needing to grind. I mean, like, even on Heartless difficulty, so it's like you can enjoy, like, a harder difficulty without needing to spend, like, a bunch of time grinding. And it's like, do I feel like it should be harder, though? Because it felt like sometimes I would just be getting, like, one shot out of nowhere. Like, there would be times where I'd be at, like, full health, my party leader goes down, and it's just like, well, I've lost that battle. And, you know, if the boss gets, like, one action per turn, and they bring, like, my whole party down to, like, just a smidge of health left, then it's still easy, because it only takes, like, 1 of my 4 turns to just fully heal everybody, and therefore it's easy. But once they start, like, knocking people down, then it suddenly becomes too hard. So it's like, what would the middle ground even be in terms of difficulty? Like, I honestly don't really have the answer for it in this kind of game. Like, maybe the boss gets more actions or something like that, like you'd see with, say, Joker. I don't know. But it definitely teeters on either being, like, too easy or too difficult. And if it's too difficult, it's just because you got, like, one shot in some stupid way, is what it kind of feels like. But when that wasn't happening, it just felt pretty easy. Was definitely the case. Definitely felt easier than Merciless main game, I feel like. Like, I just kind of breezed through most of it. Of course, Joker feels, like, super horrendously difficult, which, you know, fair enough. Like, fair game to turn, like, an optional super boss that you do not at all have to even encounter to beat the game, for you to turn into, like, something super difficult. Like, that's always fine by me when it's optional content and not required to beat the story. But yeah, the rest of the game was nowhere near that. So there was some fun to be had here and there, but, you know, it definitely got pretty stale. It wasn't really engaging me. I was kind of playing on autopilot for a lot of it. It is definitely not worth... What is it? Actually, I don't even remember. Let's see here. The thingamabob, if I go to Steam here, play for 211 hours, it is definitely not worth... Let's see here. $47. The recent reviews mostly negative. All reviews mostly negative. 28% of these reviews are positive. Yeah, and once again, it is a very, very shitty thing to take something that was like a free built-in additional content of a previous version of the game, and then the latest version of the game to release it as extra paid DLC on top of the already... Is this an $80 game or a $90 game? I forget. Holy shit, it's more than a $90 game. It's a $93 game. Okay. And then like a $47 DLC for something that was built in a previous version of the game. And all this random crap that you're probably not going to care about just to inflate the value by turning it into a bundle where you can't buy just this on its own. And it's just really, really shitty handling of content to put that behind that. So, you know, this is a pretty decently expensive game here, and for the price, it is definitely not worth it. So, 47 plus 93, so $140 if you're not getting, like, this stuff here. Maybe this comes with the DLC, I don't know, but generally, like, $140 for the full game for the experience I had with Persona 3 main game, and then the experience with episode Aigis. Yeah, not worth it. I don't think. Like, there are definitely more things to like about the main game. I personally prefer Persona 5 a lot more. Like, the story engaged me a lot more throughout with the things that it was doing. I still think that the main game of Persona 3 was just, like, so much of a nothing burger. Like, strong start, strong end, a bunch of mostly nothing burger in the middle that I don't really care about. Like, if you asked me what was happening in, like, the middle of that game, I couldn't tell you. Just random day-to-day stuff, people going missing in Tartarus, and just the rinse and repeat. Like, it was not super engaging for me. 6% of players have this achievement of beating the DLC. Is this counted among, like, all owners of the DLC? I would assume. Because what would be the point of, like, having part of the percentage be people that don't even own that content? Though I don't actually know for sure. So, yeah, it's kind of expensive. I don't really think that it justifies the price. And, yeah, the DLC felt like it was a bit of a nothing burger in a different way from the main game. So, once again, there are definitely aspects that I liked about the overall Persona 3 experience. Like, I don't think that it's, like, absolute garbage or anything like that. Like, there are parts that I think are really cool and, like, I really appreciated from this whole adventure. But it's just filled with, like, so much fluff and nothing burger, and so it takes so long to get to, like, the stuff that I actually remotely care about that I honestly, overall, I think I would call Persona 3 a game that it's like I can appreciate, but I don't think I could call it a game that I, like, really truly enjoyed, you know? No, it's 6% who own the base game. Really? Well, then that's definitely not a fair metric by Steam there. So I definitely did really, really enjoy Persona 5. I do think that it is, like, one of my top kind of favorite games nowadays. Like, top 4 are still definitely, like, Pokemon Street Dungeon 2 and 4, and Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. But Persona 5 is somewhere up there, like, underneath. It's in, like, top 10, probably. I definitely did really enjoy Persona 5. This game, it's not up there. Like, I'm glad that I got to experience Persona 3, and, like, if ever I'm talking about, like, Persona in the future, I have this experience that I can draw on, or to use as examples in, like, different cases, like video essays and stuff like that. But that is definitely not a game, and definitely not a DLC that I would have beaten if I wasn't a content creator. I would have gotten bored out of my mind and quit, like, so many times along the way. This would be one of those games that I play for a while, and then I get kind of bored of it and tell myself that I'm going to come back to play it later when I get on top of some other things, and then never come back to play it later. That's what this game would be for me. Don't have a way to differentiate between DLC and not DLC achievements. Oh, well, that's a change that Steam should make, with all their bazillion Steam bucks they make off of 30% of every game sale on their platform. Like, I would think that they'd be able to figure something out for that, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that was Persona 3 here. What a great time that was. I'll probably still come back and do, like, the Joker fight if I can be bothered. Maybe I just use Cheat Engine to max out my friggin' HP so I wouldn't have to grind for that. And maybe I'd do some research online about, like, actual strats and things that I could do, because I had to do that with the Elizabeth fight anyway. So maybe I'll be back to just, like, briefly finish off Joker and then, like, truly wrap things up. But I'm also not gonna promise it. There is a chance that this could just be, like, the end of all my Persona 3 content if I decide to not do that. But if I am back, then it'll be for, like, a single, like, 1 to 2 hour stream of beating, like, one boss and then being like, hey, I did it. Now let's move on to something else. So, for all intents and purposes, I am going to consider Persona 3 cleared and, like, off the game queue now. Let me see here, out of curiosity. Persona 3 FES, I believe it would be. Episode Aigis ending, because I am a little bit curious here now. This is 46-second clip. Cutscene 3, Shadow Minato. What the heck is this? Like some sort of FNAF game? Original versus... What the hell is that? Shadow Protagonist Death Scene, original versus remake. Oh, like that figure that we fought. Well, I am a little bit curious about that, at least. Maybe a lot of games just don't have DLC achievements, or they have so few. That's fair there. What the heck is with this? I can probably close this down now here. The list of shadows and stuff. Yeah, so I remember seeing that, like, December. So in the original one here. Hey! That is creepy, isn't it? Wow, that is very different. What? Wow. So that's the whole scene of the original one. What the heck? No, not reload. No, no. No. I'm pretty sure it's FES, right? Not Persona 3 Portable. Persona 3 FES. Let's see here. Enhanced release. Let's see here. Does it have episode Oh, it's spelled Aegis here, also known as episode Aegis. Oh, wait, it's a... Okay. So it definitely is FES. Portable does not have the answer at all. Okay, so it's definitely Persona 3 FES the answer. Maybe I shouldn't write episode Aegis, I guess, whatever the heck. Persona 3 FES the answer ending? The answer ending? 26-minute video. This has gotta, like, encompass it.
Well then, I guess if you would.
Okay, and there's voice acting in FES as well. That's cool.
Right.
I wasn't sure if there was. Okay, so that's about the only thing that it has going for it there. I guess versus C's.
There's something I have to say, but I'm not sure how to put it. I'm really happy to have known all of you.
A lot's happened in the past few days. But over time, it'll make our friendship stronger, you know? But hey, don't say it like that. It sounds like you're saying your goodbyes.
You're right.
The thing.
I see. Friendship. What gives you life? What makes you realize you're alive? If it isn't
Hardcore
just death,
drugs.
if there's something else, it could be friendship. Is this
So that's
answer
about
to life
the
I'm
same
supposed to
so
find?
far. I like seeming the same right here. There's the stuff with the velvet room.
Where am I?
You're standing there smiling like you know it all.
Don't you remember what I said
More
before?
played here.
My place is here.
Yeah, this is the same right now.
Welcome back.
It's really replayed here. Am I skipping, like, too much here? Is there, like, a certain part that's, like, very different? Or something?
I feel
Like, that's seeming the same here. Yeah, kind of like what I just saw.
What is it?
The outside world is back
This
to
is, like,
normal.
super replayed here.
I'm sorry. I tried contacting the lab, but I doubt they'll be sending anyone right away.
Okay.
Vital signs are up. Her synaptic circuit.
It seems the same here.
Related to her doubt?
Is it, like, an earlier bit? Like, is it the stuff with the final boss that's different? Or what am I missing here?
Read 6, Sleepy. But how could this be?
Even so much of the dialogue seems the
Her
exact same.
synaptic circuit shouldn't even
Assume
be
it's the final
receiving
boss?
power.
Must be, then.
It's as if
It's replayed here. You can see, like,
if
the
you're gonna live in the dorms,
anime cutscene.
you want to be my roommate?
Okay, so there wasn't an anime cutscene for that part, and it starts here, I guess.
I mean, you need one, right? But hey,
Kind of reminds me of,
no
like,
need to
Tales
be
of
so
Symphonia
formal.
in its style.
we are
Very similar
friends,
era, I
aren't
guess.
we?
For anime cutscene
Yeah,
games.
you're right.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll just look up, like, final boss then in that case. Definitely, like, the shadow main character disappearing was very different, though. Yeah, and then there's, like, the credits and stuff. Yeah, okay. The answer... Final boss? Let's see here. Erebus, that's what it was called. I knew it was, like, Era something. The answer is misunderstood. Have to watch that video next. Okay, see what this anime cutscene here is like. I don't know what's going on with, like, the bottom of the screen there. But it's something. I'm gonna reach out.
No! This isn't a shadow. So many. All those peoples.
As I thought.
All those
The
peoples?
So many. All those peoples.
As I thought. The seal's real purpose.
Not all those
It
people.
wasn't
All
to
those
hold back
peoples.
Nyx. It was
Which
a
I guess
seal
also
so that
technically
it
makes
couldn't
sense, but you don't hear it that often.
What do you mean? That monster.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Mr. Dudo's doing anything.
It's the accumulated malice.
He's just like a statue.
The hearts of countless living people. All of them, deep down, are calling Nyx.
That can't be.
Last December, I too wished to learn death.
This seems very similar too.
True that people in town are wishing to touch it somewhere in their hearts. There is only one thing that differentiates life from
It's
stillness.
bright.
It's that we die. That's all there is.
I like the leitmotif there that was like the Burn My Dread leitmotif.
I think I understand.
Like happened in the
When your life
freebie
loses its
final boss
meaning,
at the end of the main
the
game.
fact of death can be kind of comforting.
The
That
final
lurking
freebie
malice
phase.
we're unaware of is strong enough to give birth to such a huge monster. And maybe that's just how it is these days.
Wait, that's just how it is these days. Amazing dialogue.
What's it doing?
Junpoi's voice actually sounds pretty different compared to what I'm used to. Okay. And then the final boss starts. A little twirling card. Loading screen. Oh. Guess there's this part first.
It wants my sister. She has the same power as the one who created the seal.
Yeah, this seems pretty much the same too. Shoot it.
Don't tell me you're going to fight that thing. It's impossible.
Yeah, this seems like basically what I just experienced as well.
This is a battle we can't run from. The feelings that gave birth to this abomination were inside me as well. Because I couldn't accept reality, I foolishly sought solace in a past filled with death and strife. There's no mistaking it. This monster is the reason for all our troubles.
Yeah, that all seems the same. You can see a little bit of the gameplay for comparison here. So like a wheel with the original game. Magic mirror. Whoa! Oh, if you use that, it goes on to all. Interesting. Brave Blade, that's gotta be pretty good, right? Yeah, I can see how much they improved the animations with the reload. By a long shot. So yeah, for PS2 here, this still, I feel like this looked pretty good. Like, I have a lot of experience with PS2 since it was my first console. And this looks like something that I dig playing on the PS2. But yeah, I guess you can't exactly control your party members there. Just gotta hope for the best. There's that orb.
Anything about that attack. Be careful.
I feel like the final boss looks creepier in this version. Like, the eyes feel a little bit more floaty. Like, obviously they were floaty in the version I played as well. But just feel like more, I don't know, like abysses somewhere in there. I don't know, I'm just getting like creepier vibes off of this one. Like the aesthetic of it a little bit better. Oh, so I guess you can't control that. It's just what's gonna happen. You miss. Yeah, so they'll just keep on doing things whether you like it or not. So yeah, lots of changes there with reload. When it comes to control, that is a very, very big gameplay difference. Like, seems like a minor thing, but would make a very big difference. Okay, so like right after this, oh, this here, it isn't really hoping them to do the right thing. It's learning how to get them to roughly do what you want. Yeah, I've heard about like issuing like rough orders of like stuff for them to focus on and all that. Strike attack. Ooh, Akiko punched him and he died. Him, her, it, whatever. That amalgamation of stuff. Like, is this different now? Actually, a lot of control and strategy with it. Okay. It ends in like 2 seconds anyway. Hold on. Persona 3 FES and Reload episode Aigis differences. Because there was a big difference with like the shadow main character disappearing. Like, super creepy in the original version. Let's see here. I never played FES. Main story-wise, Yukari is far less aggressive in Reload, but that goes for the main story as well. Apart from the protagonist disappearing after his boss battle is entirely different. If you look up, you'll see what I mean. Look up, what? The only other small difference is that Erebus doesn't cry smoke anymore, which is a shame since I like that detail. Oh, maybe that was the thing that made it more creepy that I couldn't really put my finger on. Side stuff-wise, all the hangout event stuff as far as I know. The Joker boss is new. What? No way! Hold on. Persona 3 FES Coliseum battles? The answer Are they like super aggressive there? No, not Reload. Not Shadow Minato. Arena Boss Gauntlet. Like, is this, are they like super mean here? Here, let's skip ahead here. So there's those two.
I gotta admit, this is a pretty appropriate place to settle stuff like this. I was hoping to go up against Mitsuru's team first, but oh well.
Well, a player has to fight everyone else. Oh, I guess the player pressed A a little bit early there. This is what must have happened.
Do you object to her acting as the mediator and backing up both sides?
Oh, as opposed to being like the
No, you can't
navigator
make a decision
support
like that
thing for
without
both.
me. Helping both sides, encouraging my friends to fight each other? I won't do such a thing. Helping both sides, encouraging my friends to fight each other?
Amazing voice work there. Helping both sides, encouraging my friends to fight each other. That kind of reminds me of, like, it's like looking in a mirror thing. Bob, hold on. Maybe I'll pull that up in a hot second.
I won't do such a thing.
But with your ability...
There's no need to worry about us when we're about to go at it. If you can't choose, side with Aigis. Her life could be at risk, right? So it's only fair that she gets a handicap with you.
This is most replayed. Stuff with Junpei. Oh, defeating Junpei.
My sister's...
But you know, no matter which way this turns out, I just don't think Aigis can win against Yucatan right now. Then again, I don't think Yucatan's got it right either. Even if we go back to before the final battle, if we're still squabbling like this, I don't know, do you really see us being able to pull off a miracle and do things better than he could? Me, I think this is something we gotta take care of on our own.
So different, but similar.
Junpei-kun.
I'm not as much of a
But like
hard-ass as
Yukari gets like
Akihiko's.
really aggressive.
Long time no see to you guys. Yukari-chan. You know, I had a feeling a while back that something like this might happen.
During the opening movie.
There are 4 lit flames. This battle will determine which side gains the true key. Well, have you made your choice? Tell me that you didn't defeat
Mitsuru's
the
voice
others
is
without a
definitely the
clear
most similar sounding to the Reload one. Maybe even same voice
Yes.
actress, who knows?
I've made my decision. I know what I want to do.
I don't know, she's not really seeming really
There was
aggressive
something
here. Like maybe
crucial
it's
that I
during like the
hadn't known.
first key
But my
sequence
sister
when they
revealed
decide
it
that they
to
want
me.
to fight. I don't know, it's
care
not
about
seeming
someone
too
dear to me.
different here.
To strengthen the bonds of friendship.
I don't know.
I just want to see him again.
Like this happened in what I just played as well.
Yukari-san.
Anyway, that one line from Fuka reminded me of what was it? I guess it's not this here. I think it was a Mortal Kombat thing. It was some sort of fighting game. This is what it reminded me of. In terms of voice work, that one Fuka line.
It's like looking in a mirror.
That's what it made me think of.
Cracked reflection. Then I'll blind you to end your pain.
Like that's very much the impression that I got from that one line. There's more different in that scene that you didn't look at. Which part? Like, what part should I look at that's like super different? Like the.
Promise to him too.
Do you mean like
Promise
this
that I'd
here
try my best to
specifically?
change this world,
The
so
part that I was
people
at?
would stop wishing for the fall.
Anything with
Wasn't
Yukari
like
really?
yours. It was something I promised myself while holding his cold hand. That's why I decided to put the past behind me and look forward. Yukari-san. But I can't be that person. I want to see him. I don't care about anything else. I just want to see him again. Yukari-san.
Player took a while to press A there.
Yukari,
What's up with that, Lolokoa?
There's no way to
Huh?
truly put the past behind you. In the end, you only succeed in running from it. It's painful to face, but if you don't, your wounds will never heal.
Glare.
So if I keep facing it, someday everything will be okay? Eventually I'll forget all about him, or stop caring. Like that's ever gonna happen. No one knows that better than us.
Okay, so yeah, that's a bit different there. But yeah, hard-boiled Yukari versus soft-boiled Yukari. Yeah,
Right.
it seems like it there.
But can't we be there for you when things are at their worst? The way you were there for me last year.
It's 2:34 in the morning. Holy crap.
Huh?
I'll be going to bed like right after this.
That may not have been what you meant at
I'm
the time,
tired.
But even now, I consider your being at my side last year as one of the most cherished moments of my life. That's why.
So yeah, a bit
when
of a
we
different
lost
writing
him,
direction with
being able
Yukari
to
in that
thank you,
case.
I swore
seems.
deep down, if something ever happened to make you suffer, I'd put my own feelings aside and stand with you.
Mitsuru-senpai.
Yukari, to lose someone you had such a strong bond with is agony. But there's no need to suffer alone.
So she takes a
To
little
have
bit
us
more
with you.
convincing
Isn't that the
in
whole
the
point
original
of forming
version.
such bonds?
A little bit more of a talk about it. As opposed to the reload version then.
Yukari-san.
Well, I think I've said everything I wanted to say about like Persona 3 and episode Aigis and all that.
Ever since I was born.
Again,
I have
maybe I'll
spent
be
all
back
my
just to
time
do
thinking
Joker
about
just for the
him.
fun of it.
So, I suggest
Maybe
we
Cheaty
see
keep
it.
my health up to max so I don't have to
Find out
grind.
once and
But
what he left for us.
in terms of like the stuff that I was for sure gonna do as this playthrough, that is done. Now it's just maybe I'll come back and do that boss if I
We still don't
feel
know
like
the
it.
real reason behind his death.
Is
Without
maybe what
knowing
I'll
that
do.
reason, I can't decide what is right. That's
But yeah,
why I
she's
would
more
like to
aggressive in
see
the scenes
past
just
again,
before the Coliseum as well.
before
So
using
I
this
guess like
key,
not here,
to
but
see
like
the truth of what happened.
I assume like the dorm room where it's like I'm gonna take your keys and stuff like that. Can I just look up like Persona? I thought I mistyped that at first. Persona 3. Oh, I hit caps lock. That's what I hit by accident. Persona 3 FES The Answer long play. I just want like a video of like the whole thing. FES 2008 full game. Oh, it was 2008. I thought it was earlier than that. Tales of Symphonia would have been a decent few years earlier. Like not majorly so, but still a decent few. Oh, do I want to see what the intro of this is like? They put their watermark on it of Vice Network TV. There's a cutscene of the shadow main character dying is way better than real. Yeah, I saw that when I was looking through stuff here. Like that is super crazy. I'll see what the opening of this looks like. Oh, there's bits of gameplay in there as well in the opening. Interesting. Not just anime. There's a lot of focus on the arena and the original, like way more in the opening movie of the remake here. Oh. And it shows like bits of the adventure leading up to this point with the outfits. Is this like the actual official intro? And it shows a bunch of gameplay of, you know, different parts and people in very surprising outfits. Main trailer for this was just them fighting in the arena. I would have thought the main trailer for this would, or you mean the main trailer for, oh, maybe it's advertising the costumes and that's why it's showing them in it. Maybe those costumes weren't in the original game. Okay, so original trailer would have just been like everyone fighting there. Recreated this with reload, huh? Yeah. Okay. Big hand. And I'm the ace. Persona 3 FES. So yeah, there's that theme. Persona 3 FES, press any button. The Journey and the Answer. Yeah, so the two different names there. Okay, where the heck is the thing? So yeah, that's the thingamabob with like the shadow main character. And it like dissolves in a gruesome way. And then when we're here.
Seriously, just gonna let a chance at precious
Oh,
to you?
go back a little bit. Oh, go back a little bit more to see what led up to it.
You're giving up? Are you saying you don't have the strength to face reality? After all the things we've gone through, you're just gonna throw in the towel in the fight against yourself?
turn it up to like here or something.
Oh yeah, you're really one to be throwing around all those high-minded ideals. If you really thought something was that precious to you, you'd want to protect it no matter what. Don't you understand?
So
We can
snarky.
go back and fix things. Are you seriously just gonna let a chance like this go?
I definitely prefer the voice acting in
And I'll
Reload.
ask you this.
The voice acting in
If
Reload
I
is
said
really
I wanted
good.
to undo your father's death, would you do it? Even if there was a way to reverse Shinji and Miki's death, I'd flat out refuse. Nothing in the past was a waste. You're just making excuses.
Hey, you keep mentioning death.
Yeah, what's that all
Are
about?
you saying the person who saved you all didn't just leave?
That's correct.
But
He
yeah, the
passed
problem with
away.
Reload is that you need to play the original, so Reload can just remind you
Why
how...
didn't you tell
What?
me before?
Problem with Reload is that you need to play the original, so
Why?
Reload can just reminding
you've
you
never
how
met
good
him.
the original. I don't know what this sentence means, I'm sorry.
Anyway, what do the rest of you think?
I don't know. I get second thoughts when I think about going back to when Chidori died. But I definitely see what
So that's the
Akihiko
canonical
Senpai is
thing there,
trying
is
to say.
dying, not the coma
When you
thing
get
that you
down
could
to
have
it, though, I hate
saved
to
her by
say
putting
this,
her
but
into.
I'm just too scared to do that battle over.
What's wrong with you? Are you saying you're scared to die, but it's okay if he does?
That's not what I said. I mean, have you really thought this through? Going back to before that battle means we have to fight Nyx again. Did you
Yeah,
ever think about
okay,
what
Reload
might
hits
happen
better if you
we
play the
lose this
original.
time?
Gotcha. I'm sure it does.
It's the same thing. Either way, all it means is that
Definitely
you're
a pretty
just
drastic
scared.
difference
And you two are no better.
in terms
All
of like
that
raw,
talk about accepting the present
upping
is
it
because
into
when you
modern
get down
day,
to it,
but still
you
having
only
essentially
care
the same
about
thing.
yourselves.
What?
How can you say that?
So I guess that's Ken's voice in the original. Yeah, she gets pretty mean there, huh?
There's no use going around and around like this. We're never gonna reach an agreement. So if no one gives in, we'll have to settle this another way. Another way?
It does still feel kind of out of
Yukari-chan,
nowhere.
You don't mean...
She's so mean and aggressive in this one. Yep, we're gonna juke it
taking the
out.
keys by force. That'll work too, right?
It's
Koromaru
true that
never
the
has
eight
an
keys will
exclamation
merge if
mark.
they're brought together,
I guess doesn't
even
fully
against their
understand,
holders'
but
wishes.
seems to perfectly understand sometimes.
But if it comes to a fight, I'll protect my sister with everything I have. These keys represent each of your strength of heart. If you take my sister's,
Yeah, definitely
she may
a.
lose her life.
Oh, that it just reveals it right there.
What do you mean?
That's a big difference in the writing.
You're only thinking of what's best for you. The person with my sister's power died of unknown causes, didn't he? Did any of you ever stop to think that maybe the same thing could happen to her?
What, dying of unknown causes by taking the key? Oh,
I
shit, I
can't
never thought
protect
about
her.
that. Like, that feels like another out of nowhere rule.
I won't make another mistake.
Of, like,
I'll
what?
do whatever it takes to save her.
This is why people hated Yukari for a long time.
Heartless.
Oh.
Aigis-san, which door are you thinking about unlocking?
The door to the new Toyota. I do sometimes wonder how much more or less I would
decide right
enjoy
now
Persona
which is
3 if
more
I played the
important.
original in general. It wouldn't fix the problems such as the story being slow and a lot of the social links being mid. But it would be helped
you're
out.
just gonna run
and, like, I assume
away?
that would have helped out.
Again?
And that I would be spending
Just
more
like
time
the day
learning
we
about how
said
to
our
command the
farewells
party and
to
such.
him,
Yeah.
And you were the only one
Even
who didn't
if,
show
like,
up.
you don't have that system anymore in Reload and get to appreciate, like, a
You
new
got
system.
to hear his last words. You even made him a promise. But here you are, still running. Why were
Wow,
you
she
the
really
one
is
who
a bitch
inherited
in the
his
original
power
version.
When you can't even make up your mind. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna lose to someone like you.
Jeez.
Yukari-chan.
Yeah,
are you really going
that
to
is
fight?
really different in the original there. Wow. Yeah,
This
it is
decision
basically
hinges
that.
upon
They
someone
basically
precious
just
to us all.
Persona
Our
5 to
differences
Persona
can't
3
be settled with a compromise.
is what they did.
No matter what Aigis decides, we have no choice but to fight.
something to appeal to modern audiences, I guess.
And I've made my decision as well. I'm going to stand with Yukari.
Senpai.
You're taking her side? Are you serious?
Yeah, this is certainly quite the
I know you
interaction,
all
I
have to
guess.
Tell your mind's made up. All right.
Kid, you're coming with me. Let's beat the shit out of these two wenches.
Everyone! It's decided then. Follow me. I'll lead you to a place suitable for battle. If we fight there, no one can appeal the result. Hey!
A special coliseum specifically for dueling people and making them turn into flames until someone is left. The friendship has been split. How would the coliseum know that, like, a winner has been decided and that it should be, like, a battle royale among, like, the last three that are standing? Not as good as Persona 5 combat with nothing unique to call its own except the OP super moves that just trivialize the game more than anything, and that's kind of it. Yeah, like, there's theurgy going forward is like, hey, there's the crazy super. But yeah, basically is just like watered down Persona 5, where it's like, if I wanted to experience this general gameplay, I just play Persona 5 and get a better experience. I get like a more engaging story experience as well by like things actively happening throughout the story, as opposed to just the nothing burger that makes up so much of the story of Persona 3, you know? But yeah, nothing was balanced around any of the mechanics. Yeah, it does very much feel like the game wasn't meant with like full party control in mind when I realized that, like, when that was brought to my attention that you didn't have full party control in the original game. It feels very much like they just gave you like full party control and didn't really balance the game around it, I guess. Like, especially in like episode Aigis there, like I was describing earlier when I was talking about the gameplay, the balance felt very odd, you know? It was definitely the case. Yeah. But yeah, there's that. It's about to be 3 in the morning here pretty soon. I'm getting tired. I think that's it for Persona 3. I think that's all the stuff I want to say about it. So, hey, I did the thing. Isn't that cool? It's done. Whoa. Persona 3 Reload. Played. Oh, I never put my start date for this thing. Why do I just have this to present without having, like, the actual start date? Did I never enter that? Oh, well, I can put this here now. Of, February 9th, dang it, 9th, 2025. Look, I did the thing. Wow. I need to figure out when the heck I started episode Aigis. That's gonna be a task for me for later there. Why did I never fill in? How did I fill in, like, the to present, but not the this? What is wrong with me? Anyway, yep. Came out February 2nd. I played it for a year and a week, essentially. It'd be a year and a week if you count me starting, like, February 2nd, but early, like, PC release, or early release on my time zone, or whatever the heck it was. I technically started February 1st. But yeah, about a year a week. This thing took me. I do think that this is the new record on the channel for, like, the longest start to finish single playthrough something has taken me. So, you know, I'm kind of glad that that's through, because that took a little while. Again, like I was saying at the beginning of this stream, I got a beard during the course of this playthrough. That was something new. Time has passed. Yeah, I should have. It only occurred to me a little bit late. I was doing my great grind, like committing to it a bit more earlier this month, and I got thinking, like, wait, didn't it come out February of last year? When did it come out again? And then I looked it up and I saw it was February 2nd. I was like, oh, well, I missed my chance to do it on the 2nd. I realized this on like February 4th or something like that. Is what I realized. But yeah. I guess was very much nerfed to the ground on top of pre-existing issues, as the original was notoriously hard. Oh, interesting. But it was also kind of hard in that no one bothered learning the command mechanics, as people kind of didn't like them outside of a small minority, huh? Interesting. Well, it's been done. I'm going to sleep now. Y'all can go away and get some sleep, or if it's the day, like, do something else with your day now. If it's during the day, like, go outside, go have fun, go enjoy life like that story just preached to you that you should like be doing and stuff. Otherwise, if you're like me, go to hell to sleep. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that for the first time the other day when someone had come into my stream and said that like PSN was down and so they were kind of bored. And I was wondering if that was just like a local thing for just that user. And I saw Anma posting in the Discord earlier today, well, yesterday technically, that PSN was down generally, so people can't do like PlayStation stuff online here. I wonder if that affects cross-platform things that are on PC, like Helldivers. Like if you could still play on PC with it, or how it works. I don't feel like booting up Helldivers to find out. I'm going to sleep. PSN affects single player. Wait, it affects single player games too? Why? What? Original answer demand you to know the mechanics of the original game. Know the mechanics. The original game just suggested it. This is where commas can definitely come in handy. But yeah, I get what you're saying there. But yeah, to bolster the PSN numbers, so you need to be like connected to the PlayStation Network to play a PlayStation game. Hold on. Can you play? Oh my god. Play single player PlayStation 5 games during the outage. Something shareholder. As many video games now require online connections, and some consoles don't play games on disc. Players often couldn't play games solo either. I can't play any offline games I own because my PS5 can't verify I own it? Just out of curiosity here, really quickly. Just curious. If I wanted to play Ghost of Tsushima in the coming days and finish that off as well, game I've been having a lot of fun with, could I play it? I just want to know if it would let me here. Well, maybe this one works fine. Alright, well, I can play this game. This works. Like, I can play Ghost of Tsushima just fine, it looks like. PSN has to verify you playing their game even if it's offline. So I guess for other games, probably not things like Ghost of Tsushima then. Most likely. My capture card is bugging the hell out. Listen to that amazing sound. It's so deep. Well, man, his voice got deep since the last time I played, huh? Beautiful. Well, if I want to play Ghost of Tsushima in the coming days, I guess I still can. Good to know. I just wanted to know that. I am swooning. Okay. Because I know that there is a multiplayer mode to Ghost of Tsushima as well with, like, the Legends mode. But yeah, I'm glad that I don't need to be on PSN to, like, verify that I own the game. Or anything there. Wow. Maybe, would that be for, like, just discless games? Where it's just, like... It gets weird issues like that from time to time, like maybe once every month or two-ish, something like that, something weird like that'll come up, and it's always solved just by like turning the capture card on and off again. Off and on again, sorry. So like, I'm sure I could fix that if I wanted to, but I'm not showing me a capture card thing right now. So I guess because I have like the disc in there, it probably wouldn't do that, but I guess it's just for the ones that are discless probably, to see if like it's your account that owns that game and therefore you can open it. Though in theory, if both accounts were on the system and that game was installed on the system, you should still be able to like play it or something. I don't know. I want a playthrough just like that. I'm sure I can apply filters to make it happen without having my capture card being weird. Like, I'm sure it's possible, but just do a whole playthrough with like bugged out sound. Do it for like a 24-hour cherry stream or something here. Is what I'm gonna have to do. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some sleep now, so, you know, go away.